Hey guys, it's Hannah and I'm here today with my February wrap-up. So I am going to talk about my February wrap-up, and I'm so proud of myself that I have continued using my spreadsheet. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go check out my January wrap-up, and it talks about I break my reading down into categories. So for the month of February, I read 6 books. I read 2,987 pages. The breakdown for that was 400 pages in historical fiction, 591 pages in contemporary, 1,996 pages of fantasy, and my average rating actually went up to a 3.81 for the year. And my TBR goal for my shelf is down to 61 books. So slowly but surely chipping away at that. Although my pace is not suggesting that I'm going to make my goal, so we'll see. So without further ado, let's get into the actual books that I read this month. So my most recent finish is Vampire Academy. I absolutely love this. This is a reread. I've been talking about it a ton in my videos lately, but if you haven't seen, me and Gabby over at Gab's About Books are doing a reread of this series. So the first 2 books, we're going to be doing a live show on March 24th at 6 p.m. Or actually it's not going to be at 6 p.m. It's going to be right after our normal live show for our Muggle Studies book club. And I will leave the Goodreads page down below where we are talking, and we'll make the announcement on there and such. So 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely adore Vampire Academy. It's one of my favorite series of all time. If you are new here, I am like head over heels in love with Dimitri. He's going to be always my ultimate book boyfriend. But I am really enjoying this one. Have been a lot more critical in this one because it's like a reread and we're doing a live show, so I'm looking at it a lot more critically. But I'm really like loving rereading this series, and if you haven't checked out, this is the 10th anniversary edition. If you haven't checked it out, and if you don't want to own 2 copies, I recommend going and checking out your local library because there's like 100 extra pages in this book of goodness that we have never gotten before. And if you are a fan of Vampire Academy, go check it out because it is totally worth your time to spend reading. And I love that I own another copy of this because, yes, it's so fantastic. Next book I want to talk about is a bit of a sore spot for me because I never DNF books. Like I know I shouldn't spend time on books that I'm like not loving, and I have so many books that I need to read, but I hate DNFing books because it feels like I'm giving up, and I hate that. I don't like being a quitter, and it really like put me in a funk reading this, and I just was like dragging myself through it, and I decided to DNF it. But I'm counting it as like a book read so I could talk to you about it. And that is Scarlet Epstein Hates It Here by Anna Brislaw. And I read half of the book. I made myself go to 50% of the book. And this is not, like, it's a short book. So I was like, oh, I can easily blow through this. Like, even if I'm hating it, it's not going to take me long. It took me like 10 days to read 150 pages because it's under 300 pages. And it was not good, guys. Like, the mother-daughter dynamic in this was really messed up. The daughter was very much the mother to the mother, and that part I get, like that is like a believable trope, and I get that, but like the way that it was handled was just weird because it didn't show the daughter caring for the mother and then the daughter caring about her, like that's why she was taking care of her, and like the role reversal and her being the enabler for the mother. It showed her like annoyed with the mom, which I get that to an extent, but like there was not the caring aspect in it, so the trope didn't make sense. And Scarlet Epstein, the main character in this, was so unbelievably whiny, and I get like younger books are geared toward younger audiences, so a lot of adults can find YA books whiny. I read a lot of YA, and this was whiny. Like, it was not good. It was really not good, and I really didn't like the tone of it, because there was never an point to it. Like, I get to the point where, like, being angsty, it wasn't angsty. It was literally just her complaining, and I couldn't with this book. And the only bright side of this was the pot-smoking 70-year-old friend that she had in this, that lived next door. That was the highlight of it, and I can't, I'm sorry. So I rated this a 1 out of 5 stars because of the grandma, and you have to rate it something on Goodreads. But I did put a disclaimer in my review that I DNF'd it at like 50% because it was not good. On to a brighter note, we have City of Heavenly Fire by Cassie Clare, or St. Clair, and this is the very last of the Mortal Instruments, and this is my first time reading it through, and this is my first 5 out of 5 stars for Mortal Instruments. This book was so good. I mean, it's a chunker, like, it's a big book, but it was so good because, like, the ending, like, it was so good. I don't want to spoil anything, but the ending was great. I really liked the dynamics. I liked that we have the characters all together and the way that they played off each other, and the ending kind of surprised me. I wasn't expecting it to go the way that it did, and I really enjoyed this. So 5 out of 5 stars for City of Heavenly Fire. I do have the Infernal Devices trilogy, and also like the Lady Midnight books. I have those, but I haven't picked them up yet. But I like just finished this one, and I'm loving this. So I really loved this, and I eventually will get to the rest of them. But I was pleasantly surprised with the ending of this one. Also with another ending, and this is why my fantasy book page mount is so high, is because it's counting it just for February, but I've been listening to this one for quite a while, and that is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. It's a reread. We reread these every year, and we've just finished. So obviously 5 out of 5 stars, fantastic. J.K. Rowling is amazing. Is queen. I love how she plants things earlier in the series to only have them rounded out later, and then you can go back and reread them and spot different things. Just fan-freaking-tastic. On that note, I want to talk about our Muggle Studies book pick for February, and I compared it in our live show to Harry Potter. That is Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli, and I really enjoyed this. This was so cute. I rated this a like 4.5 out of 5 stars. So cute. The only thing that, like, okay, when we were talking about it on my live show, I found more issues than I had thought, because it's so cute that it's easier to overlook things. So if you are interested in that, I will leave it linked down below. It was a really great live show. Really enjoyed this book, and the only thing that I really wish that she had done earlier was if she were able to sprinkle in things ahead of time and then the reveal came later, like in Harry Potter. I think it would have really rounded out the dynamic to being fantastic. So if you guys don't know, this is coming out in March for a movie release, and I'm very excited for that. This story is about a boy named Simon who is gay, and he hasn't come out yet to his friends or his family or anybody in his school, and he sees this post on Tumblr by someone, and he really connects to it, so they start emailing back and forth, and he starts to have this crush, and then these emails get found out by someone who is blackmailing him that they're going to release these to everybody. And so it goes through all of that, and I really like the mixed media in this. We do get to see the emails and stuff like that, and it's really great, and I really love the characters, and I can't wait for Leah on the Offbeat. I am so hyped for that. It comes out in April, and that's the second book. It's just told, I think it picks up directly after this one from another character's perspective, and I am ready for it. And last but not least, I picked up The Glittering Court by Rochelle Mead. I rated this one a 3 out of 5 stars. I really enjoy Rochelle Mead's writing. She's the same person who wrote Vampire Academy, so I really like her writing styles and the way that she writes her characters. However, I really enjoyed this book through like the first half. Like, I was really enjoying it, and I really liked the character dynamics and the idea of the book. And then about halfway through, the character dynamics started to switch and the storyline started to switch, and I didn't love it. So this story is about a girl who is actually like a countess, and she is of privilege, and she has servants and stuff, and their family is starting to lose their money, and so she is going to have to be paired up with her like second or third cousin to be married, and she has no interest in this, but they're just trying to save their family's money and to get their social status back on track and things like that. And she is not having it. She's like, you cannot put me with this person. Like, are you kidding me? He is awful. And so there is this glittering court where this group of men take these unrefined women who are of lesser stature, and they trim them up, and they go through like basically finishing school, and then they send them off to this developing country for them to have these primed women that they can basically sell, and they like their family gets paid, and then they have a better life because they are in this different country that they are now in a higher stature of place. And she decides that instead of her maid going, she decides to pretend to be her maid and get sent off and goes through this finishing school. And I really liked all of that aspect, but it's when they actually send her, that's when the dynamics start to change. And the romance in this was pretty cute at the beginning, and then it just kind of turned weird at the end, and I didn't love it. And I probably will not be picking up the second book in this series. I think there's maybe 2 or 3 other ones that take place. It's the same book, but take place in a different perspective. And I really like the beginning, and I would be interested in reading the beginning half of the other books, but I don't think I would like the ending, and I didn't really care for the ending in this one either. They also address the issue of rape and how the status of a girl in this is not reliable, and I really disliked that point, which, I mean, it's very poignant for like for this time period. It's supposed to be historical fiction, but I didn't like it, and I didn't like seeing how it played out. And I know it's real and it happens, but I just really hated putting myself in that mindset reading from that character, and it just irritated me. So 3 out of 5 stars for The Glittering Court. So that is all for my February wrap up. Stay tuned for my March TBR, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye!